Gacha life creepypasta characters. That's what I'm going to be showing you how to draw in this video. If you hate Gacha life, don't worry, just pretend they're chibi characters. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to start off by cleaning up my messy workspace. When I start a new artwork, it's nice to have a fresh and clean workbench. It's not going to be that way for long. For this drawing, I'm going to be using Copic markers, but if you don't have them, that's okay, use whatever you've got. For the paper, I'm using Canson Bleedproof paper. It's a special marker paper, it's cheap, and it works well. I'll be using a technical pencil and an eraser to do the sketch. I'll start by roughly sketching in the basic shapes of the characters to figure out the composition of where I want all of them placed on the page. Don't do details yet. Figure out where you want everything to be on the page, and then you can go into details. Don't be afraid to look at reference for this stage. You can figure out the positioning and pose of the characters. You don't have to copy the reference exactly, but it'll give you a good guideline of the proportions for the characters. Gacha life and chibi characters have massive heads, so keep that in mind. With the rough sketch completed, now we're going to move on to inking. Now remember, the sketch does not have to be perfect. In fact, it shouldn't be. The sketch is meant to be quick. We're going to be erasing that after the inking stage. I'll be using a 0.2 Copic multiliner for this, but you can choose whatever liner you prefer and the thickness that you like. This one that I'm using is quite thick, and I think it's appropriate for these gacha and chibi style artworks. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me more. For the smaller details on the face, I'm using a 0.03 multiliner. It makes it a bit easier, and as a bonus, if you make a mistake, it won't be as noticeable because it's not big thick lines, so you can just slowly correct it with little strokes. That's a win-win. Take your time with the inking, you don't need to rush. Just relax, put on some music, and do your best. Don't be too hard on yourself if you make some mistakes or your line work isn't perfectly smooth. Inking is a skill which takes years to build up, and we're all still working on it. But trust me on this, you will get better the more you do it. So just keep drawing, keep inking, and you will improve. I promise you that. If you guys are enjoying the video so far and want to see more tutorial style videos like this, let me know in the comments, and if enough people want it, I'll make more. I'm adding some final details to the inking, then I'm going to erase the pencil sketch underneath, and we can move on to the colouring. As you may have noticed, I haven't lined their skin in black. Apart from Jeff's neck, I stuffed that up. I'm using a light grey and a dark grey liner to do their skin, but if you don't have them, black will work fine. I just had those liners lying about, so I thought I'd use it. It gives it a softer look, but it's definitely not essential. With the line work done, it's time to begin colouring. I will be using Copic markers, but if you don't have them, use whatever you've got, whatever brand that may be. You'll still be able to see what techniques I use and hopefully apply it to the art supplies you have. I'm starting out by colouring their skin. I'm only using one colour for their skin tones. It's super simple and easy. I'm focusing on fully saturating their skin to avoid any streaks, so work quickly for the best results. I'm using a few different markers for the different characters, but there's no set colours you should be using here. It just depends what you have and what you like the look of. For little Sally over here, it's going to be a tiny bit different. I'm still just using one marker for her base skin colour, but I've got two other pink Copics that I'm going to show you a special blending technique with. Gather round, children. Let me tell you how perfect blends are created. When two Copics love each other very much, you can rub their tips together. What I'm doing is using the lighter Copic to dab on the end of the darker Copic, and that's going to transfer a little bit of ink across, and that gives you the opportunity to do a slight blend and build it up over time. It's a really cool technique. Just clean off the tips at the end when you're done. When colouring eyes, I'll generally go from lightest to darkest, the lightest area being at the bottom of the eye and the dark area being up at their eyelid, having a nice transition of those colours. Then I'll go in with the grey marker and shade the whole top portion of the eye. It gives it more of a shiny look. Now remember, this is just one way to colour eyes. There's no set way, so experiment and figure out what you like. The Gacha art style is very minimal when it comes to blending. Most of the colours are just flat colours, so it's a lot easier and it's an awesome beginning point for any new artists out there. But if you would like some more in-depth tutorials learning how to blend and use texture and all of that good stuff, let me know in the comments, support the video, because if it does well and you guys want to learn more stuff from me, I'll be sure to do some videos like that. I've selected a few colours for their hair. Now here there is actually going to be some blending transitions. It's still super easy, but I'll talk you through it. I'll start by using the lighter base colour and apply the strokes to follow the fall of the hair. Then I'll go in with a darker Copic to add some shadows. For Lou over here, I'm only using one colour, but you'll be able to see if you build up a layer on top of the base layer you've done, even if it's the same Copic, it will be darker. So make sure to utilise that. It's an easy way to get another tone variant in there without having to use extra Copics. When colouring black hair, I like to start off with grey, where the highlights are going to be, and then build that up to black. In this drawing, I kept it quite light. I didn't want the hair being too imposing and too dark, but if you prefer it darker, that's definitely an option. Just use some darker markers. Pretty simple. Sally's hair is going to be quite similar to Clockwork's. I'm just following the flow of the hair and then adding some shadows at the end around the neck. At this stage, I felt like the line work was looking a bit weak, so I decided to go in and thicken it up.
You know what time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do.
With the colouring done and the line work looking fresh and crisp, I'm going to add some highlights to their eyes with a white gel pen, and then we can call it done. At this stage, you could definitely call it done, but I felt like there was something missing. They've all got knives, but where's the blood? I decided to do a quick poll on my Instagram to see if my followers thought I should add blood. There will be blood. You could be the muse to my passion. This is my secret technique I've developed over the years, so don't tell anyone. I'm adding blood where I think looks good or is appropriate, like the knife tips and all of that. I'm just smudging the blood round. I'm using 2 different markers at this stage, a really light pink marker and a brownish red marker. Now you can use other colours, this is just what I like, but I definitely encourage you to experiment and find something that you like. Next, I'm adding a brighter red to the mix. I'm still keeping the same light pink marker to help with blending, but that brighter red is really going to help make that blood stand out. I generally try to apply it sparingly though, so I don't overdo it. But again, it all comes down to personal preference. When I'm happy with the amount of blood, I'll go in with my white gel pen and add some final highlights to the edges of the blood splatters. And that's pretty much going to wrap up this artwork. But for you guys who stuck around till the end, I've got a bit of a secret announcement for you. I've actually started a second art channel. That art channel is going to focus on light-hearted artwork and have a bit of my personality thrown in, whereas I'm keeping this channel more horror focused. I'm going to leave a pinned comment down below so you can go to that new channel and be one of the first subscribers for the channel and show your support. There's already some new fun videos on that channel, so I hope you check it out. But next week, I'll be back with a Creepypasta video. And a big thank you to my patrons who have helped support me to continue making videos. I really appreciate you guys.